worried if Finland is still the right place for you. Some of the most dramatic changes in ages are coming, and some already happened recently. And most newcomers have no idea what they're in for. But today I will show you the 8 must-know updates and how they will actually impact your life in Finland. To start, let me show you why your long-term Finland plans just got worse. Because permanent residency just got harder. So if you're planning to settle in Finland long-term, heads up, the rules for permanent residence PR are about to get tougher. And here's what's changing. The required period of continuous residence, a permit, goes from 4 years to 6 years, and it must be uninterrupted. But that's not all. There are additional requirements. You'll also need at least 2 years of work experience in Finland and satisfactory Finnish or Swedish language skills. However, there's still a 4-year path available, but only if you meet one of these. Earn at least 40,000 euros gross, that's before taxes, or hold a Finnish recognized master's or PhD plus 2 years of work, or have excellent Finnish or Swedish skills plus 3 years of work. And in addition to this, you must not have received unemployment or social assistance, toimeentulotuki in Finnish, for more than 3 months during your work period. Children can still get the permanent residence if one of their parents have permanent residence and they meet the other general requirements. And work means regular work, business, freelancing, or light entrepreneurship. All of these count. And there are 3 takeaways here. First, you can still get the PR in the same time frame as before. There are just more requirements. Secondly, keep learning Finnish or Swedish. In my opinion, Finnish will probably open more doors for you. And thirdly, the new unemployment rule is harsh. If you get laid off, you have maximum of 3 months of unemployment benefits before it can block your PR application. And here's the action point. Have a plan B available. If you get fired, have contacts and network to help you land a new job quickly. Consider also if starting a business would work for you, because that also counts for the work history. Next, let me show you what big changes are coming to the Finnish citizenship requirements. And here's the big change. The standard required period of residence for Finnish citizenship has increased from 5 years to 8 years. That's massive. But however, there are still fast-track options available, including have at least B1 level Finnish or Swedish language and meet the other general requirements. This will get you eligible in 5 years. Nordic citizens eligible after 2 years. Good for you Nordic people. And marriage to a Finnish citizen will also get you eligibility after 5 years. I guess it's time to start dating those sexy Finns. And coming soon, a new citizenship test is in development, likely launching in 2026. And it will check your knowledge of Finnish laws, rights, responsibilities, and society. No details published yet, so we'll have to wait and see. So what counts as period of residence? The type with type A permit, half of the time with type B permit, and EU citizens and their family members when you register your right of residency. That's where it starts. And up to 365 days abroad allowed in total, and maximum 90 days abroad in your application year. Exceeding these days do not count towards that time. And there are even more new rules coming in December 17, 2025. That's before recording this video. You can't have received unemployment or social assistance, toimeentulotuki in Finnish, for more than 3 months in the last 2 years. Also tougher criminal background checks, so longer waiting periods, 1 to 8 years after convictions. And citizenship can be revoked for fraud or serious crimes like terrorism or treason. Yeah, don't do treason. So here's my take. Getting Finnish citizenship should require effort. No argument there. I think it shouldn't be easy. But the new unemployment rule is harsh. So if you get laid off or your employee goes bankrupt, you could lose some valuable time of your timeline, even if it's not your fault. And here's the bottom line. The path to Finnish citizenship just got longer and steeper. So plan ahead and keep your language skills sharp, and maybe brush up on your Finnish trivia, just in case for the test as for the Finnish national bird. Next, let me show you how the cost of living in Finland will hit on your wallet and finances. So according to Statistics Finland's Consumer Price Index, Finland's everyday living costs have risen significantly in the past 5 years. So in October 2020, the index was around 303.7 points. And by October 2025, it had reached 122.7 points. So in simple terms, in October 2020, if something cost you 100 euros, that same thing would now cost about 119 euros in October 2025. That's roughly 18.3% increase overall. And why has this happened? Well, of course, COVID caused like big disruptions all over the place. Of course, Russia's invasion to Ukraine drove up the energy and food costs, as well as the global inflation. While the inflation has cooled slightly, prices still remain permanently higher than pre-pandemic levels. That's unfortunate. So here's the action point. When budgeting for a move to Finland, budget and have realistic financial planning, because Finland is still a relatively expensive country. I have a dedicated video coming about cost of living soon, so stay tuned. Next, let me show you what will happen to your plans if you aim for vocational studies in Finland. So starting in August 2026, non-EU and EEA students entering Finnish upper secondary schools, lukio, or vocational schools, ammattiopisto or ammattikoulu, will be required to pay tuition. And funny enough, I just recently learned that these have been free until now. Higher degree programs like university studies have had tuitions like since 2017, but these have been free. So this applies unless student holds an EU or EEA permanent residence permit, and it's part of Finland's broader shift towards cost sharing in education. And in fact, one of my current relocation clients is moving from America to Finland for a vocational degree, and they start in January, just before this change. So lucky for them, they most likely don't have to pay. So bottom line, if you want to have free upper secondary or vocational education in Finland, start before August, or make sure you bring your wallet with you. And this next update can have a huge impact for your teenage kids if you have them and bring them to Finland. So good news for international families. Finland is launching new English language upper secondary lukio programs in 2026, making it easier for teens to prepare for their university studies in English. But here's the catch. Just like the new rule for upper secondary and vocational schools, non-EU students will likely have to pay tuition unless they have a continuous residence permit, like type A for work, family, or other non-study reasons. So if, for example, if you're on a student permit, tuition fees will apply for your child. But for example, if you're moving to Finland from India for a tech job and you receive a type A permit for your work, your teenager children should also receive a type A family permit so they can attend the new English taught programs without paying tuition. But if your only permit is for studies, tuition fees should apply for your child. And this is just my speculation, no official rules yet, but this is how it works generally for upper, like higher degree programs, like university programs. And the bottom line is this. So more English taught lukio options coming, but if you move specifically for those studies, expect to pay tuition fees. But if you bring your children and you come for work, then most likely you don't have to pay, or your children don't have to pay tuition for this. But keep an eye on the updates. And this next update can get you deported in Finland sooner than you can say sauna. So starting June 2025, so that's already in force when I'm recording this video, if you're in Finland on a work-based residence permit and you lose your job, you have 3 months to find a new job before your permit is at risk. But there are a few exceptions. You get 6 months if you are one of the following: a specialist, including an EU blue card holder, anyone who has had a work-based permit in Finland for over 2 years, you are a senior or middle enterprise manager, a seconded specialist or manager moving within a company after 1 year in Finland, or you hold a specialist permit or EU blue card. So you can stay legally during this time, no need to leave immediately, but don't wait until the last minute to start your job search. And here's my take. Even if you're happily employed, always have a plan B available. Build your network, keep your CV up to date, and be ready to pivot, whether that means finding a new job, freelancing, or starting a business in Finland. The Finnish job market moves fast, and so should you. So the bottom line, the new rule gives you a window, but it's up to you to jump through it before it closes. And this next update can get you very discouraged if you want to find a job in Finland. So according to the Ministry of Economic Affairs and Employment, unemployment in Finland is still high, but expected to slowly decline. So in 2025, it's 9.5%, 2026 projected to be 9.3%, and 2027, 8.8%. So job growth is happening mostly in the private sector, especially in manufacturing and industry. The public sector is recovering much more slowly due to spending cuts. So why unemployment is still high? More people are entering the job market, especially young people and a lot of immigrants, and long-term employment is rising. Nearly 45% of unemployed people may be soon without work for over a year. Despite high unemployment, there are serious worker shortages in some fields. The 2026 labor force barometer predicts demand in these generalist medical practitioners, metalworking machine tool setters and operators, specialist medical practitioners, welders and flame cutters, psychologists, nurses and healthcare assistants, as well as cooks and early childhood educators, plus software developers. So the action point, if you are or become an employment in Finland, it will be an uphill battle, no question about that. However, there are always some opportunities, but securing them will be more difficult because there are more people fighting for the same jobs. So is moving to Finland in 2026 still a good idea? So if you're bringing strong skills, learning the language, planning to integrate long term, and have a well-prepared plan, absolutely. But the bar is higher now. You'll need to be prepared, proactive, and patient. But none of this will help you if you don't know the exact steps to move to Finland stress-free and confidently. Watch this. I'll show you each step in detail.